Well, we are back in the kitchen with Lucy Greer from Greer's, and today she is whipping up some roasted red pepper artichoke dip. Already looks so good. Thanks for being here, Lucy.
Thank you. I thought we could kind of continue on with some of our tailgating food. Last week we did meatballs, and I thought this would be something else quick and easy to take to any kind of party or tailgate that everybody's doing since we're in football season.
Perfect. Sounds like an easy dish to do. Already looks like a dish that everyone would love. So
Yes.
What do you do to get started?
Okay, so the first thing I did, I took 1 jar of roasted red peppers. You can find these by the pickles and the olives, and I drained them and I put them in the food processor, and I just turned it on and pureed it so it gets to be, you know, really, really fine. And I have it in a colander here, and I'm just letting all of the liquid, you can see all the liquid that's collecting in there, all the liquid drain off. Even though we drain the liquid out of the can, the peppers just have so much water in them, and we don't want all of that water to be inside our dip. So I'm just letting this go, and then we'll just keep pressing it and letting it keep draining out, and then by the time we add it, it'll look more like tomato paste. You know, it'll just kind of be like thicker. So we'll just let that rest there, and then I have 1 can of artichoke hearts, and I just drained these 2, and I'm gonna pop these in here, and I won't turn it on yet because it'll be too loud, but I'm just gonna let the food processor do the work. I mean, you could certainly chop these up, but you already have this dirty, so you might as well just let those pulse in there. And then I like to do it pretty fine, but you could leave the artichokes a little bit bigger pieces if you'd like, so that's totally up to you. And then a little bit later we'll kind of get started on the rest of it.
Perfect. It sounds good. And then also I want to touch on really quickly that Greer's is doing something for the students come really for the rest of the school year.
Yes, we have kicked off our 14th year of Apples for the Students, and it runs, like you said, during the school year, so September to March. And this is a community outreach program that is so dear to us because it touches every single community that we're in, and most of the schools, you know, have been on the program for years. And it's so simple because all you do is collect Greer's receipts, and you're able to turn them into whoever your favorite school is. And the great thing is that even if you don't have kids or grandkids or really any you know, any children that are affiliated with that school, you know, maybe it's a school down the street that you want to help in some way. So all you do is shop at Greer's and turn in the receipts, and then the schools collect the receipts, and then they're able to redeem, you know, any educational supplies from computers to footballs. And over the last 14 years, we've been able to contribute over $1 million to the schools and all the communities we serve. So if you're interested in any more information, it's you can find it Apples for the Students on our website.
That is
it's super cool.
That is such a great thing to offer. So that way you're shopping for groceries, but also doing something great for the local schools. I love to hear that. And again, we'll have a link to more information on that on our website on fox10tv.com under the Studio 10 tab. But then coming back soon, we're going to start finishing up those dips, so you don't want to miss it. We'll be right back. Well, we are continuing in the kitchen with Lucy Greer from Greer's, and she is finishing up this roasted red pepper and artichoke dip. It already smells delicious, but now it's time to continue even further.
Yes, so what we did earlier is we took 1 jar of roasted red peppers, and we put those in the food processor and pureed them, and now we were just letting these drain over this colander, over the pot, and we can see on our end that it's collecting a lot of water. So I just mentioned, you know, keep pressing it out. And then into that same food processor, we put 1 can of drained artichokes, and we just chopped those up. So now we are going to get started on the base. So I have 1 8-ounce block of cream cheese in here, and I'm just gonna beat this up for a second. And then we are going to add, I have a cup of mayo and a cup of sour cream. And this really, it makes a lot. It's gonna, because it's kind of a rich dip too, and so really a little will go a long way. So it's great for feeding a lot of people, and it's really affordable too, which is the great thing. And you know, a lot of people, of course, going to football parties have definitely buffalo chicken dip and, you know, wings and a lot of different things. So it's kind of nice to have a different option of something that isn't meat too.
As I say, I haven't had something like this, but I am definitely a dip person. When I think of sports, I think of dips. So this is definitely my go-to, adding some good stuff right there. And what would you suggest serving with this dip?
So it's good too because it'll go with a lot of different things. So I just have some pretzel chips out today. Pita chips would be awesome. This would really be good with cut up red bell peppers. You know, any vegetable would be good dipped into this. Or if you didn't want a pita chip, you could do some soft pita would be good with this too. Or bagel chips. So 8 ounces of mayo, 8 ounces of sour cream. I just have salt, pepper, and garlic powder. And I have 2 tablespoons of, I just use the jarred jalapenos. That I keep in the fridge. So we're going to get all this mixed together, and then the cheese that we're going to add is pepper jack, and you could use whatever cheese you like. Cheddar would be great, white cheddar, you know, Monterey Jack, but I just used pepper jack today, and so that was just 1 8-ounce block that I just grated up. So I'm going to add that and a little bit of Parmesan cheese too. So we'll get that going.
Good. I was going to say, it sounds like it has a little bit of a kick to it as well. Definitely something that sounds good, and then this is going to be served hot, correct?
Yes, so we have that baking dish there, so we're gonna get it sprayed. Oh, would you mind spraying it for me? And then we are going to bake it at 400 for probably about 25 minutes. And the good thing about this is you could make it ahead, you know, and bake it the day of, or of course take it to wherever you're going and throw it in the oven when you get there. So definitely something easy to make ahead.
It definitely sounds like it's something great for game day to keep in mind. And so when we come back, you're going to be finishing this up with Joe.
Yes.
He'll also be testing it out for us. Excited to see the end result. All of that is coming up soon.
Back to finish things up with Lucy from Greer's. Lucy, what are we working on today?
We are working on a roasted red pepper and artichoke dip, and it is a hot dip, so we already have our baking dish sprayed with some nonstick spray, and over here in this bowl we have our cream cheese, sour cream, and mayo. We added some chopped jalapenos, some salt, pepper, and garlic powder, and also we went ahead and added our cheese. So we have pepper jack in here and also a little bit of shredded Parmesan, and me and Jen got to work on our artichokes and our roasted red peppers. So what we did with the roasted red peppers is we took 1 jar and drained it, and then we put it in the food processor and let it puree, and we've been letting all of the excess liquid come out over this pot, and as you can see, that's probably almost 3/4 of a cup. So we just didn't want that in our dip here. So we'll put this in here, and it has such great flavor, these roasted red peppers. And then we drained 1 can of artichokes, and we just let the food processor do the work of chopping these up. So now I'm just going to mix this together, and we're going to top it just with some shredded parm.
So pepper jelly last week. Pepper jack and these peppers this week. You're feeling very peppery.
I am.
Lately.
I guess this the thought of tailgating and football has me all riled up. Oh my gosh! So I'm an Auburn fan, and so you know, the first game of the season, you know, we're watching. I wasn't with Spiro. He is a huge Alabama fan, and so that game against Texas, the Alabama game against Texas, I watched the end of it, and I was just glad that I was not with my husband that day because he takes football very seriously. So I guess all this wild football just got me feeling spicy.
And you know what? A lot of people who take football seriously take the food that goes along with football seriously too.
That's true.
So you have given us some great options in the past couple of weeks, and like you said with that, you put that in there, and then how long do you bake that for?
Okay, we got it at 400, and it'll bake for about 25 minutes. I'm just gonna put about 1/4 cup of shredded parm on the top, and this is great for make ahead. At this point, you could just put the cheese on and pop this in the fridge and make it a few days in advance. You can make it earlier in the week, and so that way when it gets to be Saturday or wherever you're going over the weekend, you don't have to worry about it.
All right, so your stomach will be full to endure those tight at last second games that have been taking place both in college and the NFL. Great start to the season so far. There you see it. Here's the finished look at what it looks like when it's all complete. And then Lucy, of course, I can find all the ingredients for this and more at Greer's.
That is right. So if you don't feel like shopping, you can place your order online, greers.com/shop. We'll give you all of the curbside and delivery options too.
All right, you heard it here first. Lucy's all riled up for football season. Some great recipes.
Ironically, because I'm really not that huge of a football fan.
Thanks a lot, Lucy.